Final Fantasy VII Remake is truly a work that is something special. I'm excited, I know you guys are excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake. One of the most beloved games out there is getting a crazy huge reimagining with some awesome explosive gameplay. And thanks to Square Enix, I've been playing this game for a while now. Big thanks to Square Enix and Square Enix USA for providing me with a review code of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've dumped a ton of hours into this game, and it's time for me to break down some of my early impressions and my favorite parts of this game. So if you're somehow still on the fence of partaking in this game, hopefully I can clear some things up for you guys. What's up everyone, it's HMK once again with another Final Fantasy VII Remake video. Once again, I gotta thank my friends at Square Enix and Square Enix USA for providing me with an early review copy of the game. And don't worry you guys, if you're looking for something spoiler free in terms of the story of Final Fantasy VII Remake, this video will indeed be your cup of tea, as I won't be going into the specifics of the story. What you will see is a lot of awesome gameplay and locations. So with that being said, I'm gonna ask you to strap on in for the safety of hype. Let's dive directly into the noise. Final Fantasy VII Remake is a remake in the strongest sense of the word. Everything about the original has been reimagined and built from the ground up again to bring this familiar title to a shining new light. This includes the characters, their voices, the combat, the setting, the music, and of course, the story. Final Fantasy VII Remake does entirely take place within Midgar, but is that a problem in terms of length of the story? No way. Final Fantasy VII Remake adds a ton of context not able to be presented in the original title that enriches the overall story of the game. While it does follow the same plot points and the familiar scenarios that fans would recognize, there are tons of secrets and surprises to be had in this game, especially since the original writer Kazushige Nojima returned to write the remake. Despite what you may have seen or heard, fans of the original are gonna enjoy the writing of this game. It's bursting with personality. I want you to think of your favorite Final Fantasy VII character, I mean of course the ones who took place in Midgar, and just think to yourself how they could be better. Because that is what Nojima, Nomura, and Katase did in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Going from simple text in the original to the remake where you hear the banter between Cloud and Barret, the soft soothing elements between Cloud and Tifa, and coming to actually care about Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie, it translates extremely well. The voice acting in Final Fantasy VII Remake is incredible. And a bit of a joke, spoiler warning, I mean of course you would know this if you played the original or you played the demo, these characters curse. A lot. And I mean a lot. And speaking of sound, the music in this game is actually really good. Not to say the original didn't have good music, but what I mean is that in the remake, not only is there more battle themes other than the iconic Let the Battles Begin, which honestly still slaps, but there are areas within the game where the music is actually really bumping, and then you gotta stop yourself and just listen to it. I'm like, alright, yo, this is nice. Whoa, I didn't expect this. Seriously, Final Fantasy VII Remake gets so many checks on things that are done right, but letting you guys know right now, that doesn't mean they got everything right. But one thing they did get extremely right is the gameplay. This real-time action RPG ATB integration system is so good. It's actually quickly become one of my favorite gameplay systems in any type of video game. The traditional on-the-surface gameplay in which Cloud swings his Buster Sword and locks onto enemies is pretty good. It feels tight and crunchy. But that is truly just an intermediary to the real star of the show, and that is the ATB function. Similar to how the original played out, in which you have to wait for the ATB gauge to fill up in order to issue a command to one of your characters, the ATB fills up in real time in the remake if you just wait, which is honestly the slowest way it'll fill up, or if you attack and defend. While of course certain material will help you along the way, but we're gonna get to that in a little bit. Anyways, once your ATB is full, that is when you're ready to rock the show, in which you can activate an ability, a spell, or use an item, or maybe summon a summon. And when it comes to these unique abilities, some of Cloud's old limits got remapped as abilities such as Braver and Blade Beam. And it is within this gameplay where you have to strategically attack and defend in order to get your ATB up and then know what to use, an attack, a spell, or an item given the situation that you're in. And just because this is real time doesn't mean that all the stats, ailments, weakness, and resistances aren't there, because they are, and you're gonna have to pay attention to them, because if not, you're gonna get bopped. And it's thanks to the slow down motion of the ATB selection system that issuing commands to partners and of course yourself is so good, and it's really that seamless. It's not rocket science, but that doesn't mean it doesn't go deep. And you know what else is seamless? Character switching. And I can tell you right now, all the other characters that you can play in besides Cloud in Final Fantasy VII Remake are really super fun. Like, of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake is indeed Cloud's story, but the other characters do get their own individual spotlight that doesn't detract from the overall game. I know a bunch of y'all are looking at Tifa, and yes, Tifa is fun. Tifa's super fun. And it's the character switching and ATB gauge system that is so seamless and perfect. I can see other people and developers trying to emulate this system. Honestly, can I go on a bit of a tangent here, because Final Fantasy VII Remake, Square Enix, everyone there creating this game could have easily created this game with Cloud and only Cloud in mind when it comes to gameplay, and having the other characters regulated as party members that you can issue orders to but not directly use. But the other characters within your party in this game are fully playable and so fleshed out that they are truly their own gameplay experiences aside from Cloud, with their own strengths and weaknesses that you have to consider in every situation. And the best part about it is that they're fun! They're super fun! Like, if any other playable character was a detriment to play as and then you would never switch to them, that would be such a minus on this game. But they are fun. And since the characters are fun and they are their own characters and you get to play as them, you have to think about how you build these characters. And that's when we come into materia and weapons! Materia functioned very similarly on how it did in the original game in the remake, such as casting certain spells and giving you a buff to certain stats. However, there are some new materia, given that this is now an action RPG-like game, that give you awesome new abilities. My favorite right now is the deadly dodge materia, in which after you dodge, if you hit the attack command during or at the end of your dodge, you're able to follow up with an AoE powerful swinging attack. For those who play Dream Drop Distance, you remember Sliding Sidewinder, right? Think of it as something like that. And when it comes to the weapons of Final Fantasy VII Remake, there are a lot that you're going to recognize from the original, but with some new added flair. This time around, you can level up your weapons in order to get more powerful and have more material slots and more buffs, along with each weapon having their own unique ability mapped to them that characters can use. Off the bat, you can only use that weapon's unique ability when you have that weapon equipped. However, once you have that weapon ability, that unique ability, proficiency up to 100% by using the ability and also following the proficiency bonus, you can then unlock that unique weapon ability to use for all of your weapons when you reach 100% proficiency. And that's how you get more abilities for your characters, because off the bat, Cloud only starts with Braver and Focus Thrust. And by upgrading your weaponry through a system where it's kind of like a skill tree using SP that you gain along playing the game, you can truly give them stats in order for them to not lose relevance as you go on into the game. Of course, they'll all be different by nature, but once you upgrade them enough, you're gonna truly know that no weapon is really useless. And yes, some of them do change up your attack patterns, so make sure to explore as much as you can to find and to buy these weapons. And with all of that being said, Final Fantasy VII Remake does indeed keep you very busy considering everything I've told you. When it comes to the gameplay, the story, the music, which you can collect, finding, using, upgrading materia and weapons, and of course taking in this remake that many people have waited for so long. But I've said a lot of good things about this game so far. I'm guessing you guys don't want to hear about a bad thing that I find bad in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Well, here it is. Aerial combat is actually really trash. Weakest point in the game, honestly. Just use Barret. Just use Barret. So I hope that video gave you a ton of insight into Final Fantasy VII Remake. Once again, I gotta thank my friends at Square Enix USA for providing an early review copy of the game. There's more Final Fantasy VII content to be had, and I hope you guys are looking forward to the full HMK review of the game. I cannot wait for you guys to play it when it comes April 10th. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to your boy HMK and sharing it up in order to keep the conversation going. Leave a comment and hit that like button. And of course, if you want to take it a step further and find out how you can support HMK for just $1 a month, please check out my Patreon. Alright guys, until the next Final Fantasy VII Remake video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.